Oh, pressure.
Pressure. Yes, sir.
That's like a dope ass Instagram kind of handle. It's got like this old school vibe. Like where did that come from?
A guy from this guy that I met in prison named 25 from the Bronx.
About to say from up top. Like the
Yeah, he from the
names are
Bronx.
always cats'
Yeah,
nicknames up top have like a meaning.
yeah, he gave me that name because he said when people talk to me or they, they addressing me, I always like seem like I'm pressing them or so he just started calling me that and it just stuck. He's like, yo, you always pressing people, like you seem like you pressing people when you talk to them, like your level of aggression. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use that as a rhyme name. You get what I'm saying? Because I consider myself an artist and I had started rapping. So he told me he started calling me that and it just stuck.
Um, how much time did you do?
Did 16 years in the Department of Corrections, New York State Department of Corrections.
New York
16
State.
years.
That's a stretch, man.
So from
That
17 to 33. From 17 years old to 33.
so I want to know, like personally, like so I've done time in
Mhm.
2 year stretches too. I'm in and out. What is it like after year two, year three, and you've got some time to do? Where are you mentally at after
So
that year?
mentally, me being a teen is like, okay, I don't have the support that I thought I would have. So it's like, okay, I need to start navigating how I'm gonna do this time. I can't be thinking about baby mothers. I can't be thinking about people on the outside that's not thinking about me. I got to think about what's going on around me. You get what I'm saying? I got to start adapting to what's going on around me, and I started adapting quick. I started learning who to deal with, who not to deal with. Took me a couple experiences, personal experiences that I had, and you just start you really start thinking like, okay, I got some time to do. Let me just make it to my board, and you try to find things to occupy your time. So for
Let me
me, it
let
was education, books, reading, working out.
me ask you. You said you didn't have the support system that you thought you would have. So
Hmm.
take me back to like your family and stuff, how strong and supportive they were from the county jail to that transition to year one, year two. Like
So
how
me saying when I say that, I say with some of my friends, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? That I grew up with. My father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, they was there. They were supportive through letters, but they didn't come visit me like that because I was far away. You get what I'm saying? I was like 5, 6 hours away from where I'm originally from. So I wasn't getting visits like that, but I was getting letters and support from family, and a few of my friends from high school did support, but like the ones that I thought, the ones that I thought would be there, the ones that I was hanging out with every day, the ones that was in my house eating my family food, and we was on the corner doing dumb shit and all that. Like we didn't, I didn't really receive no communication from them. So that's
so
when I said,
these same cats that like, we riding, drinking buddies. This is my
yeah,
ride, shit hit the fan. Like this is who I call. We handle that. This cat
right,
here die about me. I'm gonna die about him. As soon as
yep.
it required him to put pen to paper, money order to, it just wasn't that.
Yeah, I didn't get that type of support. I didn't really get that type of support. And that kind of like it made me upset at first, right? It made me upset at first, but then they started going to jail. So I was like, they gonna experience like all my mans around me started going to jail, including my brother. Like my brother wasn't. He was initially he was there, like he had got me a lawyer, but it didn't really matter because I had copped out, but and I was trying to get my plea back. But he supported me in that way. He came to visit me a few times, but he was engulfed in the street, and the individuals that we grew up with was engulfed in the street life too. So, when you think blindly, like you think that those individuals gonna be there for you because y'all loyalty in the streets. So I never experienced prison or being away from them or being away from my family. So, those principles that we grew up on was like those meant something to me at the time, and they still do. But it's like I see them different. I started seeing them different through, during the process of my bid. And from the beginning, it was like, okay, if I ever see them, like we gonna talk about it. But it hurt me. And
Yeah.
being a young man, thinking that loyalty was, what it was, it hurt me. It bothered me at the time.
And that's like the common denominator. Every prison, jail, every place that I've been inside. Like if you've got somebody that's taking care, it's always that. Like on the rare occasion, and this is in the county, on the
Mm-hmm.
rare occasion when that screen, visual screen come out, it's a Negro homeboy. And when they call out roll call for who sent that money, that end of that don't have your last name.
Mm-hmm.
Like cats will send, and that's like a common theme. So I've taken that like something me personally, I've taken those life lessons. And that's kind of how I evaluate like my friendship.
Right.
That's why my circle is so kind of small because I'm like,
Yeah.
would you do for me? I assess them. Would you do for me? I don't think you built like that. I know that's how that's just something that resonates with me.
Right.
With you, what resonates with you? So from doing that type of time, what is the one thing that has like shaped you into present day? Because you've been home for a while. What's the one thing that shaped you while you were in there that's present in you right
To the person I am today, the one thing that shaped me, um, me understanding that in one casket. You know what I'm saying? Caskets don't have bunk beds. Me knowing that I had to stand alone. Me knowing that my father bred a leader from the time I was born. He bred a leader, in that I wasn't gonna be no follower. I wasn't gonna run behind gangs. I wasn't gonna run behind dudes that wouldn't lead me in the right way or that wasn't gonna teach me nothing. So I learned to stand alone, and it still carries to this day. Like I've lived in different places. When I came home, I paroled to New York City. I never lived in New York City in my life. I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in the Bronx. I lived in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Maryland. And I still stand alone. I knew that that's something that I needed to have for me, like to be a leader and be able to have the capabilities to stand alone and have a sound mind. Like one of the things that carried me is like I said, I'll never allow myself to lose my mind again. And I had like brushes with mental health or whatever, because when you in there, like you become traumatized through things that you see. But I said I'm never going to lose myself again, and I'm never going to be no follower. Like I'm not going to follow. If I know something is wrong, I'm not going to do it. If it's not for me, it's not for me. I only do what I can, not what I can't. You know what I'm
now?
saying? I got in tune with myself. Um, I really learned who I was, learned what it was to, my ideal of what a man was based off the things that my father gave me. You know what I'm saying? This presence in my life. And that like kind of like molded me to be who I am today, because a lot of dudes followed me based on how I move. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys in prison don't have father figures. So I became like a father figure to a lot of young men, you know?
That were moving, that were wanting to move like you move.
Right, right. They wanted to emulate or do, either they wanted to work out with me, they wanted to read what I was doing, they wanted to do the things that I was doing, because I kind of steered clear of, drama. I tried to. You get what I'm saying? I tried to. And in the beginning, it was kind of tough because, I had to learn who was who and what was what. But after I experienced things of, just being there for people and holding people down, that I felt like, I can't see nothing happen to them. And then it got to the point where it's like, okay, you got to be concerned about you. I had children to go home to because I was a young father. So I was like, you got to be concerned about you. So I started thinking about myself and separating myself from the people that wasn't doing the things that I was doing.